Marijuana Manifesto is really, it's almost like a school book on cannabis. It goes through the history of it. It talks about how for the first 150 years of the United States, it was the backbone of our economy. It was fully accepted. In fact, I like to tell people that if George Washington and Thomas Jefferson were alive today, they'd be doing 10 to 12 in the federal prison as major drug dealers. And so we cover the history of cannabis all the way to today, and we cover how the public has been misled and they've been lied to about this remarkable plant. And so in light of that, I view the Marijuana Manifesto as really almost a textbook that we wrote so that we can educate the public and make them aware of all the untruths that maybe they harbor over being told things that are not true about cannabis and down through the years. Well, one of the biggest misconceptions is the fact that it was our economic drive that drove the economic machine of America, the United States, for its first 150 years of existence. The only reason cannabis was dethroned was when they developed the cotton gin, to where they could harvest cotton with a machine. And that led to cotton being the major thing to make clothing out of. There's just a lot of things, misconceptions about cannabis, and in light of today, it has so many medical uses that I've taken the position that the people who banned cannabis from us, they should go to prison for what they did. I mean, the bottom line is, how can you go to jail for using a product God made? And how do you go to jail committing a crime against yourself? Drug addiction or the use of anything of that sort is you. Well, in a free society, you can't commit a crime against yourself in what should be a free society. And yet we put people in jail for using a plant created by God. They've talked about it, that's all. Trump goes with the blow of the breeze. All we need to do is start calling the White House, let the people rise up and tell him, come on. He'll switch. He switches on everything. Who knows how long Jeff Sessions will be there? This seems like an administration to me that is going to have a rapid turnover in it. There's going to be people coming and going, I think. And we need to combat a guy like Jeff Sessions, who obviously doesn't read anything and doesn't educate himself. When you watched him testify, you could tell he wasn't well educated. He didn't even know legal answers that you would think the Attorney General should know off the top of his head. I found that remarkable. I mean, the Attorney General's the highest ranking attorney in America. You ought to know the laws then. And he stood up there like he had no idea what was legal or illegal. I think I'd tell him to try applying something that's not used in government often, called common sense. And I think he could use a dose of it. And he needs to remember, having come from the private corporate world, I don't think he's fully grasped that government provides services, not bottom line profit. And that's the difference between government and corporations. Corporations are for profit, governments to provide services. And I don't think Trump has fully grasped that concept yet. And the fact that he's not a dictator, that there's three branches of government that check and balance each other, and he needs to understand how to operate under that system, that he can't simply come in and write executive orders and change the world.